Thank you for the introduction, Melinda. Hello, my name is Jacob Moon. I'm honored to be here with you today. I'm also a little bit nervous. This is definitely the largest group of people I've ever presented to. Today, I'm 22 years old. I am a graduate of YouthCare's Youth Build program. I'm also a current college student and electrical apprentice with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Most importantly, I am a young man who is hopeful and confident about my future. However, only 2 years ago, it seemed as if nothing was going right for me. Everything in my life was minute to minute. I had trouble even finding part-time work, and I almost gave up hope altogether. I want to give you a small background about myself and how I ended up couch surfing in Seattle trying to rebuild my future. I'm originally from South Sudan. My parents moved our family to Omaha, Nebraska in '98. My family was fleeing the Sudanese Civil War. All of us had been through a lot. We were in search of a new beginning in America. Education was always important to my father, who speaks multiple languages. He taught me and my brother Swahili at a young age so we could keep up to speed in class in Kenya. We spent 2 years there after leaving South Sudan, and he later helped us learn English so that we wouldn't be behind when we did reach America. He had hopes for each of our futures. As you can imagine, moving from Africa to Nebraska was a, significant change. Our family had been through a great trauma in South Sudan, and now we were transitioning to a new country. We had to learn new customs and a whole new culture. This transition was particularly hard for me. I struggled to find my way. I started to act out in school, skipped class. I fell in with the wrong crowd of friends. Before I could stop the spin that I started, my life revolved around drugs and alcohol. I was lost. I had no direction. I was no longer ambitious, and a strong reality check was headed my way. While my siblings did well in school, my struggles to fit in led me to become a talud, as my father put it, that's slang for hoodlum. He would lecture me about it being time to get back on track, but he didn't know how to help me in this new country, and I wasn't ready to receive help. Still a teenager, my reality check came in the courtroom, up to 7 years to serve in Nebraska prison. At that moment, I had no choice but to come to a clear realization. I was influenced by people around me in Nebraska, and my arrival to America had been rocky. Yet ultimately, the negative choices I made were mine to come to terms with. I had no one to blame but myself. It was time to make changes in my life and abandon the destructive habits that got me there. It was time to make my family and myself proud. I saw kids from my middle school, my neighborhood, and my high school serving sentences from 15 years to life. The only way I was going to make a change was to leave the area and start fresh. Sometimes you simply cannot go home or stay at home if you want to stay alive. I gained my GED while serving my sentence, and when released, I moved immediately to Washington State. My sister lived in Seattle, and she could offer a safe place to stay while I started to rebuild. As fate would have it, she ended up moving to Germany with the U.S. Air Force soon after I arrived. New to town, I was without support structures, family, job skills, or formal education. What I did have was a criminal record. My future seemed bleak and full of limitations. I began couch surfing and staying with friends just to have a place to sleep. I was still determined to make it here on my own. Finding employment and stable housing were my biggest obstacles. With a felony in my record, no one would hire me. The only times when I would get employment would be because I had lied on my application. Then I would wait until they discovered my past. I didn't like doing this, but I had no other choices. I tried to remain hopeful, but every day was hard. I just needed a break. I just needed for somebody to see me for what I could be and not for what I had done. A life-changing moment came when I discovered YouthCare's Youth Build program. My original hope was that they could help me just find a job, but it turned out to be so much more. I applied and successfully made it into the 6-month program. From day one, I knew it was not going to be easy right to finish and gain stable employment. Failure to maintain proper attendance and grades meant expulsion. I worked hard to have perfect attendance and maintain a good GPA. I would catch the bus at 6 a.m. in Auburn to make it to Seattle to Youth Build by 8 a.m., knowing that I could not be even 1 minute late. Youth Build has a guiding pledge that defines our hopes and expectations of one another. Each student is asked to memorize these words. As I repeated them time and time again, I started letting myself believe these words and feel like my life is finally turning around. I'll share this with you. I am YouthCare's Youth Build, and I pledge to show up on time every day, work hard every day, make my education a priority, respect my bosses, instructors, and crew, never leave anyone behind, but never let anyone hold me back, conduct myself with respect, carry myself like a professional, rebuild myself and my community, and turn my dreams into reality. Because Youth Build is a part of YouthCare, my entire cohort also had access to help with meals, transportation, and housing. While in Youth Build, I was finally able to gain stable housing when I moved into YouthCare's Home of Hope apartments. This gave me a chance to develop independent living skills and a positive rental history. My past was so often a deal breaker for landlords. I'm proud to say I was the valedictorian of my Youth Build cohort. Upon graduation, I was accepted into the electrical apprenticeship and began searching for a place of my own. Today, I'm living in my own apartment, still going to school. I'm earning a livable income, and I'm earning a livable income. None of this would have been possible without the support and motivation that YouthCare staff helped me with. They believed in me before I believed in myself, and they always saw my future, not my past. So when I was asked to come here and speak and share my story, I didn't think twice about it. I couldn't think of a better way to show how thankful I am for what they have done for me and the lifelong friends I made through Youth Build. I'm looking forward to the future now. I've completed over 1,000 job site hours, or the 4,000 hours required to finish my apprenticeship and be a licensed electrician. I'm about a year away from getting my associate's degree, and I have plans to be an entrepreneur and start my own business focused on solar energy. I'd like to take what I have learned and bring jobs and opportunities to other people like me. My father has since moved back to Africa, but we're recently visiting. Before, I struggled to even keep up with my siblings, but now he is very, very proud of my accomplishments. 2 years ago, that seemed like an impossible dream. I simply would not be where I am today without YouthCare and Youth Build. I promise I will continue to make all of you proud. I appreciate the chance to come here and share my story. Thank you.